Hello, my name is Daryl Stice from the Faculty of Business and Economics in the accounting area. I'm the admissions tutor of BBA Accounting and Finance, so we get to talk about accounting. Now, why accounting? I get this question a lot from my students, from my colleagues. Why should somebody be interested in studying accounting? Well, let me tell you what accounting is not. Accounting is not a computational system. Accounting is not like mathematics. Students tell me all the time, "Oh, Daryl, I'm nervous about studying accounting. I'm not very good at math." Well, let me give you a quiz. Can you add and subtract with a calculator, with a computer? Can you multiply and divide with a calculator, with a computer? If you can, you know enough math. So accounting is not math. Accounting is also not debits and credits. Sometimes people think, debits and credits, that doesn't sound very fun. Debits and credits are the beginning. In accounting, we want to use numbers to tell a story. Accounting is just that framework for using numbers to tell us a story. Accounting is not bookkeeping. It's not a very simple back office support function. That's what bookkeeping is. You don't need to come to Hong Kong U to do simple bookkeeping. Accounting is a very integral part of a business. We need to understand what's going on inside our business, and we need to be able to communicate that to those outside of the company. So it's not bookkeeping. Accounting is not boring. We want to use accounting to make decisions within an organization. So it's not boring. We're going to be using accounting to make optimal decisions and to communicate with companies, with those outside of our company. Well, what is accounting? Accounting is an information system. We call it the language of business. We often talk about accounting being the language of business. So even if you don't want to become an accountant, you need to understand the language of business if you want to do anything with business. Now, there's two primary users of accounting: internal users and external users. Internal users, we often call that managerial accounting. So this is all the secret stuff that managers do inside of a company. For decision making inside of a company. Which products should we develop? Should we add product lines? Who are our best managers? Which are our best performing products? How much does our inventory cost to produce? These are all the things that companies think about every single day inside the company, and we need accounting to do that. We also have external users of accounting. We've got investors, potential investors, lenders, potential investors. The government is often very interested in companies' accounting. So we have these two primary users of accounting, internal and external users. And accounting is the language of communicating with those groups of people. And again, it's fundamental to decision making and strategic decision making. We have to use accounting numbers to make decisions. What can you do with accounting, right? You want to learn and you want to stimulate your mind and learn new things, but what can you do with an accounting degree? Well, you can do anything. Now, most of our students often work for accounting firms, so it's very common for our students to graduate and work for the Big Four accounting firms. We also have many students do consulting, advisory services within companies, but you don't have to. You could really do anything in business with an accounting degree. We have many students that want to create their own company. They're entrepreneurs. Well, if you want to create your own good or service and sell that product or service out in the world, you need to understand accounting. You're going to have to communicate your business idea. You're going to have to communicate with lenders and investors. Entrepreneurs often use accounting. You could go into banking. You could go into other types of the public sector, other public sector jobs. There's opportunities all around the world. You could do anything that you want with an accounting degree. You could also decide to study in the future, right? If you're thinking later, maybe you want to do a master's degree or maybe you want to do an MBA. Accounting is also an excellent background for that. So the possibilities are endless with the background in accounting. What do we think about inside the accounting area at Hong Kong U? What is our goal? Well, we aspire to be a premier and progressive provider of relevant accounting information in the Asia-Pacific region. We spend a lot of time thinking about how we can be cutting edge, what new industries are developing, what new jobs are developing. How is artificial intelligence? How is cryptocurrency? How is blockchain? How are all those things going to be incorporated into the business world, and how can we in accounting incorporate that into our curriculum? So that's what we aspire to be. We very much want to be modern and cutting edge in our approach. Well, we've created this framework for incorporating that. Apple. First, starts with the students. We have to attract good students. We've been very lucky. We have lots of excellent students apply every year. That's the beginning, right? Without great students, we couldn't achieve our mission. We want to provide a rigorous and relevant accounting education. Again, we want to incorporate everything. This is 2019. We want to make sure that we're preparing business leaders for 2020, for 2030, for 2050, right? So we've got to provide an excellent background and foundation for these attractive students. We want to produce professionals. We want our graduates to make a difference in the world. We want to develop business leaders, people that are going to have a big influence in their spheres after they graduate. So we want to produce those kinds of future business leaders. People say, Daryl, you're from the US originally. Why are you at Hong Kong U? What's attractive about being in Hong Kong U? The number one reason for me is the quality of the faculty. It's the professors all working together to do cutting edge research. Well, we want to use all those resources. We want to leverage those resources to help our students. All this cutting edge research that we're doing by ourselves in our offices and traveling around to conferences, we want to bring that into the classroom and use that to help our students. We want to enrich our relationships that we have with our current students, with our alumni, and also with the business contacts that we've developed in the area, right? So this has been a very important part of Hong Kong U's success. We certainly want to keep pushing on that moving forward. Well, how do we achieve those goals? Well, how do we achieve that framework? Well, the first thing that we want to do is we want our students to acquire knowledge. How can we have our students help us accomplish all these goals that we have for ourselves? Well, first we have to help them acquire knowledge. Then we want to have them apply that knowledge. Acquiring knowledge is not the same as learning to apply it. We want our students to be able to apply that knowledge creatively, because the world is changing and the world's going to change again and again and again and again. We want our students to know how to take what we've taught them and incorporate it for many, many years to come. We want to create professional leaders. So we want our students to go out and be professional and have these leadership capabilities. This is business, so all businesses are humans working together, often in teams, often in groups. Being a good leader is knowing how to lead a team, but it's also about being a good follower. Sometimes you're not the person in charge of your team, but good leadership incorporates leadership qualities and being a follower as well. So we want to develop future leaders. Our students need to have a global outlook. The world is getting smaller and smaller every day, and so we want our students to help develop a global outlook for themselves and for the other classmates that they interact with. The world is a small place and it's exciting. In Hong Kong, our companies work with other companies all over the world. We need to have this international outlook. Communication skills. Accounting is not done in a box, right? A business is not done in a box. You can have a great idea, but if you can't communicate it to the world, it's not going to be as efficient. You're not going to be as successful as you could be. So we need our students to take all of these things and learn how to communicate them efficiently and effectively. Well, how have we developed our program? So with these kind of accounting area goals in mind, and with these ideas for how we want our students to acquire and develop their own skills, their own opportunities, how have we set up our program? Well, we've incorporated many different things. Mentorship is a very important part of it. Exchange programs are an important part of it. The program and curriculum itself, when you take certain courses, which courses you take first, which courses we incorporate, and then also giving students flexibility to tailor the program to their own needs and desires. These are all a very important part of developing our program and the students for themselves. Exchange programs. Right now we have 350 exchange partners all over the world. Pretty much any university and business school that you can think of, we have a partnership with. We want our students to leave Hong Kong and go out. We want them to learn from other parts of the world, and we want them to share all the good things about Hong Kong U with other universities and students throughout the world. And exchange is very much a part of achieving our goals. We have many great partners, and we're always adding new ones. Well, what does the program itself look like? Well, it's a 4-year program, and we have many classes that you take over many years. The first year of the program is the least flexible year. That first year, we're introducing you to a foundation in many different business subjects. Starting in the second year, and certainly in the third and fourth year, students are going to add courses based on their own interests. Electives are a very important part of this program. They're a very important part of being a well-rounded student. So things become more flexible as you develop your own interests throughout the program. So this would give you an idea of which classes you would take in the first several years in the program. What's unique about our program? Again, we have this aspiration to be cutting edge, to be preparing these future business leaders that are going to have a large impact on their spheres after they graduate. And all of these things are going to be working together. So we have academic advisors, we have case competitions, we have consulting projects, we have internship opportunities, as well as exchange, as well as lots of other programs that are happening throughout the program. So students in many ways can tailor the program depending on their interests, depending on their specific career objectives, but all of these things are going to work together to achieve a well-rounded accounting education. How do we teach? Well, teaching is not sitting around lecturing. So unfortunately, if you like this, watching this video, well, you're not going to do a lot of that in our program. Good teaching is very much about interaction, and it's very much about case-based learning. So of course, our faculty are going to introduce important concepts, but then it's going to be important to work together in small groups. So we do lots of cases. We do lots of case presentations. You're going to work together in small groups and then deliver potential solutions or potential perspectives that you've had after working together. So case-based learning is a very important part of being a business student, and it's good practice for working out in the real world. Professional enrichment. We're going to have lectures. We're so lucky to live in a city like Hong Kong where we have so many business leaders so close, right? So we're going to have many of those business leaders come in and share their insights, which is very valuable because often students have many different interests, but they're not sure which is their primary interest, and still having people come in from a variety of backgrounds is very helpful, right? There's also a chance for students to ask questions from these guest lecturers, from these industry experts. Case competitions, excellent practice for the real world. You know, giving students often say in a case competition, "Oh, I just wish I had more time. I wish I had more information." Good. Welcome to the real world. We often want more information. We want more time. But having a real job means often you're having to make decisions in a short amount of time. So this is good practice. These case competitions are very valuable. We've got a consulting practicum. We've got a consulting practice curriculum that is very good at helping you develop those kinds of advisory skills. Technology advancement, lots of other opportunities as well. Accounting competitions, we have many accounting competitions, some of which are in Hong Kong, many of which are international, so there's teams from all over the world. Another opportunity to get more practice and also to develop relationships with your fellow classmates and actually with students outside of Hong Kong U as well. Communication skills. Again, this is so valuable. I said that we want our students to acquire knowledge and then learn how to apply it. We want them to develop leadership skills. Well, it all culminates in communication skills because you can have great training, you can have a lot of knowledge, you can be a good team member, but you do have to improve your communication. And the best way to do that is practice, right? That's why it's a 4-year program. We're going to give you lots of opportunities to practice and develop those communication skills over the course of the program. CPA, many of our students are going to end up getting the CPA designation, which is very valuable. That's one of those things that you can take with you throughout your entire career. It will certainly help provide opportunities for yourself in your career, and many of our students choose to get the CPA designation. Please stay connected. The Faculty of Business and Economics, there's lots of information, lots of updates. Please stay connected with us so that we can update you about more future developments from the Faculty of Business and Economics. Thank you.